he's a horse that still doesn't quite know what it's all about, even in the mornings. If you work him on his own, he goes around really dopey and really quiet. But if you put him with company, you nearly can't stop him. He's like a train. So he's one or the other, and we see evidence of that in his first two starts. His first start, when he jumped out and went forward, he was like a train. I couldn't stop him. And then last start, as he did in his trials earlier on this season, he came out of the gate as dopey and just didn't switch on the whole way. So I think he's still finding his way a little bit, but he's obviously got some type of ability there. He just needs to start to put it together.
From a physical point of view, a fitness point of view, has he derived benefit from that run last time out? Yeah,
I thought so. He's a very big horse. He's very heavy in his action. So the benefit of the run just allows him to use himself a little bit better, and hopefully he can just go that touch better, and that's all he needs to do.
And the way that he finished off last time out, is he a horse that's going to get over a bit more ground, or is it still just a learning process with him?
Yeah, it's a learning process. He did hit the line at his last start, which was pleasing to see, like he did in his trial. Whereas last season he was going hard and then stopping. So it's just a matter of finding out, what is going to work for him and when the penny's going to drop.
Karis, Amazing Rocky, this is his second run coming up on the weekend. What did you think of him on debut?
It was a nice first up run. He actually was a bit green in the race all the way through, but I thought it was a nice effort first time out.
Steps up to 1,200 metres. Is this a better distance for him?
Yeah, I think he'll be a better horse over the turn. He needs a longer trip, I think, where he can just relax and then find his best towards the end. So I thought stepping him over 1,200 would be better for him.
He's been to the trials. You rode him in a recent trial. You've also ridden him in his track work. Has he improved from that first run?
Yeah, he has improved. He's still got a bit of more improvement to come. Like I said, he's still a very mature horse, but he's going the right way. So, like I say, I'm sure he's come on a lot from the first run and ready to go to races.
Overall, what sort of opinion do you have of him as a horse?
I think he's in a improving road. Like I said, he's got a bit to show still. He's shown already a bit. Nice first up run, so I think he's going to improve into a nice little horse.
And looking at the race, Soaring Tower lines up. He's on debut. You've ridden him in all of his trials. What do you think of him?
Yeah, he's actually a very smart horse. It was a shame, of course, those two section races, they crashed together and couldn't ride him. But I've been trialling and had a lot of time for him. He's actually a very smart horse, and I'm scared that now I had to get crushed with him in that same race. Yeah.
EXULTANT, Zach, the horse of the year from last season, comes back for the first time this season on Sunday. I know he's never been a great trialer, but from the trials, can you gain anything as far as how he's come back?
Not really, no. I've given up trying to assess him off his trials. I just roll him around and let him have a stretch of the legs, and that's all he's out there for, really. As we know, he doesn't take any part, and he hasn't been taking any part, but it doesn't concern me. He's been like that for quite some time now. It's when they come out and do something different that you start to worry. So we'll go to the races knowing that he's in a good place, but he's going to improve off it. Distance is okay for him, but having to carry the big weight against these horses at this stage of his prep is not easy. Just like him to hit the line and show us that he can be a player again in December.
Ran third in this race last year with the big weight as well too, and when the tempo didn't necessarily suit him. On class against this sort of opposition, could he win first up?
It depends how the races run. Last year he drew barrier 1, so that allowed him just to jump and get into a nice spot without having to do any work. He's drawn an awkward gate this year, and against a lot of horses that are really well rated with light weight, so he's up against it. Let's just see how he begins, gets himself out of the gate. He'll tell me where he wants to be.
And when you look overall at his record, he's barely put a hoof wrong in his time here. He's a tough horse. That consistency, the toughness, are they his two best qualities?
Yeah, I would say his toughness is, his heart. He always goes out and gives everything he's got. It doesn't matter if it's a slow speed or a fast speed. He just tries his best every time. Of course, he would prefer a fast speed so that he can grind them into the ground a little bit, but You know, I never go out there thinking, having to think about whether he's going to do it for me or not. I know he's going to turn up every time, and let's just hope he continues to do that.
Beauty Kobe David steps out for the first time in Hong Kong on the weekend. What have you made of his preparation?
I thought his 3 trials, he keeps improving. He's got very solid provincial form in Australia, but I'm sure if he kept racing in Australia, he would have been a city class horse. So he gets in on a nice rating for the ability he has. And on Saturday, I would love to produce the first winner for the Kwok family. So I think he'll run very well, but I'm very mindful that no E-horse in Hong Kong has run a place this year. And I'm hoping he can buck the trend, but I'm sure the E-horses will start running well soon. Hopefully he's the first.
Is he forward enough to run a decent race, do you feel?
I think so, yeah. He look, that last trial was pretty good, and he's trained on well, and he's a horse on the upward trend, I think.
And you spoke about his form in Australia as well too. He won over 1170, won over 1400. Is he a sprinter or a miler? What sort of feel have you got for him distance-wise?
I'm hoping he can sprint well fresh, but I'm sure he'll end up a miler in Hong Kong.
Just changing tack slightly, of course, we're speaking to you on Victoria Derby Eve as far as Australian racing is concerned. Does it feel like 30 years ago that he trained 6 winners on Derby Day?
It does at the moment, but yeah, it was a huge thrill, and I think Ben and Tom have got a really good chance of winning the first 2 on Derby Day. They've only got runners in 3 races, but they've got terrific chances in the Carbine Club and the Wakefield Stakes. So it's been a lucky day for the stable over the years, so hopefully it can continue.
And to train 6 on a day, is that your best ever day at the races in terms of that?
I won 9 that day, actually, 3 in Adelaide. So that certainly is my best day. I've had a couple close, but not as good as that.
True legend Karis, was he better last time out after what might have been a little bit of a disappointing first up run?
Yeah, of course, last time he did everything right. You know, he is a big horse, and I thought first time he was still very heavy, and he did not even break well first time out where he had to get behind horses, and I don't think he really liked that. He's such a big galloping horse, so we could take it as, you know, toughen him up first run, and you could see his last run. He then came back and ran his best, and just thought he got beat by a better horse on the day. He's definitely improving though.
So is he a free rolling type? Is that the best way to ride him?
Yeah, I would think so. If you look at him, you see how big he is, and I don't think he doesn't like it when you strain him and put him behind horses. Then he cannot use his momentum. So that's his style of racing, and that's how we can ride him.
He's still a colt. Is he a bit colty when you ride him, or is he straightforward in that sense?
He is straightforward, but he's a very big horse. But he's holding himself pretty well at the moment. So let's hold thumb that, you know, he keep on going like that.
And his wins have been in Class 4, but he lines up in Class 3. Does he have more rating points in hand? Can he win at this level?
You know, of course, he's got a, you know, of course, he's still a young horse, and he's still a colt, and he's already running well in a Class 3. I think he could win a Class 3. And I think, you know, few months down the line, maybe when they decide if they would cut him one day, he could improve into a better horse, I think.